Okay, girl. Okay, post number 4. So, this is a summary of what I said yesterday, the skills that are required versus the weaknesses that sometimes high performers have. And I listed them all yesterday. So, I'm going to repeat those juxtapositioned with the skills that are necessary to play chess, the strategy necessary to stay alive in 2026, right? Because ain't nobody safe. And I hope you don't have to find that out the hard way. Even those who've been in the C-suite for 20, 30 years, a new supervisor comes in, she don't like your ass, you history. So, in terms of the skills that are necessary, the ones that got you to where you are now are not going to be the ones that keep you where you are. Because, girl, in these streets, for black women, the gates closed and locked. So if your ass is in, know how to sit down and shut the fuck up. If you're waiting for a promotion, do something else, make some other plans because it's not coming. You're lucky to have a job. You need to figure out where your priorities are. Do you need to eat or do you need to argue, and debate so that you can end up being right but unemployed? Right? So the skills are thinking versus feeling. Feeling's going to be in our Achilles heel for you. Patience versus impatience. You know how we are. Get her done. Hurry up. We ain't got no time. Blah, blah, blah. Discernment versus obtuseness. Girl, read a room. Have the ability to read a room. Read the climate. I think I mentioned patience versus impatience. And the thing about patience is you need to be able to sit your ass in the cut and wait for the opportunity. Back away from the keyboard or type it and draft it. But you really seriously need to be able to wait for the opportunity where your strategy will have the maximum impact. Okay? Grace versus unforgiveness. Stop holding grudges and being petty, bitch. Move on. You ain't got no extra energy right now for petty. Humility versus arrogance. Yeah, that means you can know who you are and feel that all day. I know I'm the shit. But I don't have to tell nobody. I don't have to brag about it. I don't need applause every 5 minutes. Tolerance versus intolerance, right? Lots of high performers intolerant. You do it our way or it's the highway. We don't like no mistakes, blah, 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 right? But they not us. You know, you're a unicorn. There ain't no other unicorns in the workplace but you. So you need to have some tolerance for different levels of performance. Self-control versus impulsivity. Stop doing and blurting like you can't handle it or manage yourself, right? Emotional regulation is the key. Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And if you're not good at that, you better start practicing. Flexibility versus rigidity. We know high performers aren't always all that flexible. They like it this way, don't want to have nothing change, hate it when their directives are changed on them, especially in the middle of the game. You need to have the capacity to change direction on a dime, bitch. They're looking for fluidity and flexibility and fluidity. That is much more currency based, more valuable in the organization than rigidity is. Emotional intelligence, right? Awareness is everything, girl. That's why I'm working with people on what's your personality, what's your leadership style, blah blah blah. Because most people are like, what? So you can't afford to have blind spots, lack of self-awareness. Because your blind spots become their target, their areas of the ability to target and get rid of you. Referent power. I've talked about this before. So referent power is your capacity to influence people. Girl, your likability. People like your ass. And as long as you got that going, you lucky. Because the converse of that is referent power versus nobody likes your ass because you a damn know-it-all. So when it's time for you to need help, right, to need some partnership or advocate or champion because you in trouble, don't nobody help the bitch that nobody likes because she's a damn know-it-all. You be looking around for help and they be acting like they don't know you, even the ones who hired you. So really, Let me review again. Thinker, patience, discernment, grace, humility, tolerance, self-control, flexibility, emotional intelligence, and referent power. And so those are the skills that are going to help you play chess in 2026. Girl, I hope to God that's the last time I have to post about this. And for the new babies coming into the workplace, y'all don't even know what's about to happen. But the same skills that I'm offering to the OGs on this post are the ones you need to develop, right? Because we're usually not strong in things like patience and not being impulsive because we're wired to get it done by any means necessary. But this is a climate where you cannot move in the same way that you were before. So my hope, beloved, is that I am helping you, because ain't nobody do shit for me. And I know how hard it was. And I'm still standing 45 years with the fuckery, still here. I'm with a workplace that I absolutely adore right now. I adore my supervisors. It took a long time to find them. And so it's easy for me to sit down during this climate. But if you think and feel at jeopardy, or you're at the end of your rope with the microaggressions and all the ways in which the demons are torturing you, you need to take a step back and create a strategy so that you can move intentionally instead of just let 2026 kick your black ass. I'm not about to let anybody else take control of what happens to me career-wise or in the workplace for 2026. So sit back, take a breath, make a plan, think about what your intentions are and what you hope to achieve. If it's just to stay employed, girl, make a plan for that. You know what your weak spots are. Create an opportunity to build some muscle in those areas so you don't put yourself at risk unnecessarily. All right, girl, I'll see you tomorrow.